Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I don't remember the last time you posted anything, Lynn. I know. It's been a year and a half now since I've posted anything, and I am so sorry. I have completely abandoned this channel, and it was like, it was really starting to make me sad because I'm like, oh my gosh, YouTube is where I started. It's where I met some of my best friends. It's where I found my producer for my EP. And I've abandoned this space. It makes no sense. But if you've stuck around this far and you're watching this video, then thank you so much for all of your love and your support. And thank you to all those who have left me comments throughout the years since I started this whole thing. I have read every single one of your comments and your messages, and I am so grateful for you because you don't understand. You've been with me through some of the highest and the lowest moments of my life, and your words have been super encouraging and loving, and I am blessed to have a community like this. But enough of that. So the reason for this video is to kind of play catch up, and I wanted to do it because God has really been kind of tugging at my heart about coming back to my YouTube channel and doing what I love to do, which is music. It's so important for me, and I've been doing music, yes, but at the same time I haven't been doing it to its full capacity, and you'll understand in a little bit what I'm saying. But I have decided that starting this new year, I really feel like this is where I'm meant to be. And I don't know, it's like a new beginning for me. So many good things have been happening to me lately, and I can't wait to share that with you. But let's just backtrack a little bit and kind of go from where I left off. So last we knew about each other was that I had funded my EP, which is titled Staring at the Sky. It came out in January. I had an album release concert in 2014. It was picking up some speed. I was getting all these opportunities to play around the city and minister, and it just really seemed like everything was picking up. Then all of a sudden in May, same year, 2014, I started getting really sick. And I thought it was just stress from, I guess, from producing the record and making sure that that was out there and that everything looked and sounded the way that I felt like it needed to. And so I realized that it wasn't stress when I started not sleeping, I had a migraine for quite some time. I've never ever suffered from migraines, and if you do, I am so sorry for that. But so many little things started happening and triggering that kind of made me realize that my body was failing me. I got a blood test. Next thing I know, I got a call saying I needed to rush to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, it all happened so fast. I can only remember certain things because I don't know, a lot of it was, I guess I blocked it out, or I try to remember and I really can't. But what I do remember is I was told that I had severe anemia and they didn't know why I had it, and that I just needed blood transfusions. And my mind couldn't process what was going on. And so here I am sitting on a hospital bed, just kind of in shock, really, not understanding what exactly was going on with my body and why it was failing me. But all I knew is that in order for me to feel better was to get blood transfusions. So next thing I know, I am doing just that. Next thing after was a bunch of tests. First they thought I had lupus, and then that came back negative. Then they thought I had bone marrow disease. That came back negative. Then they tried for cancer, negative. Then they tried for thyroid, whatever that's called. That came back negative. And so here I was laying in a bed thinking, my God, the last words I remember the doctor saying is, I don't know how you were walking around like this. you know, you could have died, you know, if you would have passed out, you could have died at any moment. And like, when you hear stuff like that, you kind of just pause and you just have to say, hey, God, thanks. You know, like, thank you for keeping me on this earth just a little bit longer, because I don't feel like I'm done. And I, even in that moment, I didn't feel like I was done. And laying in that hospital bed, it really just makes you, you know, just be appreciative of the people around you. And I had my mom, you know, right next to me, and my boyfriend, who's now my husband, next to me. And I just lay there, and I was so incredibly thankful that I was gonna get better, and that there was still hope, and that it wasn't any of these diseases that any of these doctors were trying to diagnose me with, that it wasn't any of that, and that it was, you know, just me now making decisions to get better for my health. And I remember I said, you know, God, I just felt like in that moment I had nothing. Like without anything. Like, I didn't need anything. I didn't need anything to prove my existence, or, you know, the EP didn't matter. You know, none of these things mattered. The only thing that mattered was God, and the fact that I was on this earth, and that I was going to be okay. And there was this, you know, wonderful worship song by Rita Springer, and it says, if all I have is you, then I'm okay. And those words were brought me so much comfort, in that time and on that hospital bed. And, you know, it took me a year and a half to get better. I didn't realize how bad it was, with severe anemia, and like my hemoglobin was at a 4 and the regular is 13, which I didn't know that, and now I'm fully aware. And so when you've experienced these things, like, you think, okay, I'm in the hospital, they're gonna, you know, get me better, and I'm just gonna walk out and everything's gonna go back to normal. And it just didn't. And, you know, I had to leave my job. I had to step away from the church that I was at to really focus on getting better. Better for myself, better for God. You know, like, I needed to get my health back, because I still believe in every promise that He's given me. And so it took me a year and a half. I went to Texas. I had time to be in the Texan sun, be around family, just around all this positive, you know, positive energy. I believe in that stuff. I mean, whatever. I believe that if you're around really positive things, like, you know, that stuff it's just good for you. It's good for your soul. And so, you know, I got to experience being a part of the Rita Springer worship school, and it was a week, and it was the most eye-awakening week of my life. And, you know, being spoken over and realizing that, you know, that God is good, that God is faithful, and that He is our hope. And, you know, I didn't know what to expect going in there, and I came out of there just completely, you know, renewed. And up until that point, I felt like maybe I needed to be in Texas, you know, just a little bit longer. But through just being there, I realized that God wanted me in New York. That God wanted me in New York, and that my time in New York wasn't done. And so I came back to New York, and it was still a slow recovery. I didn't go back to work right away. I took my time, and I started going to a new church, Christ Tabernacle in Queens. And I slowly started getting into being in a church, being around, you know, people, forming community. And it was so good for me to be around loving people, making new friendships, experiencing something new, and not necessarily doing anything. I mean, I wasn't leading anything. I wasn't, for once in my life, I wasn't, you know, part of pretty much anything. I was experiencing everything new, and it was just a really, it was really good for me spiritually to kind of just let God work on the things that he needed to work, not only my health but also spiritually, because it's a lot. I feel like I went through a lot and I learned a lot, and so it was my time to process, and it was a good process that I needed to go through. And so here I was at this church and I was still processing, and next thing I know, like, it went from processing to, okay, now let's be proactive. And I've met some of my bestest friends at Christ Tab, and my life has just seriously turned around for the better. I mean, I get to be on an amazing worship ministry, which I've never ever been in a part of in my life, and I get to be surrounded by incredible leaders who not only love the Lord but love people. And that's exactly what I love. I love the Lord and I love people. And I have such an appreciation for people who are doing exactly what God has called them to do. And so really the purpose of me coming on here is, just letting you know, like, where I've been, how come I haven't been making videos, and it's really, God's been working in my life. I mean, I literally two and a half months ago, I got married to my best friend, and he is the most genuine, loving person I've ever met in my life. And he's been with me throughout the lowest and the highest points of my life. And so, these last couple of years have just been so incredible, and I feel like God has been working throughout each and every moment. And so now, here, as we're approaching the new year, I just want, not only for me but for you, to approach this new year with such gratitude, and also just with a goal in mind, and just push and, like, be stretched to the point where it's overwhelming and you're so unsure, and just, like, do the things that you love. And that's all I want to do, is to do the things that I love, to do the things that God has called me to do. And I believe that that's music. I believe that that's here on YouTube. I believe that it's at my wonderful church. I think it's with the people that I have around me. I believe that it's with my family. I believe that it's with my husband. It's just so, it's a cool place to be in. And I want you guys to approach this new year with that in mind. I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking out for myself, but I also want that for everyone around me, because there's just something so special about, seasons and going through them, and really seeing the need for them. It's taken me a while to get here, and I'm finally really happy with where I'm at. And I just hope that, as we take this journey again in the YouTube world, that, that we just continue growing. And, like, I don't know, it's just so exciting to be a part of, this big old world. And I just want to take advantage and live it out and have the most fun through everything that I do. So anyways, that's where I've been. I'm here in my room, in my house, and this is where we're going to be now, approaching this new year, making covers, maybe doing a couple of videos here and there. But I just want to thank you guys again. Just thank you so much for sticking it out with me. And if you follow me on social media, like Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, then you kind of knew this already. But if you don't follow me on there, you can. Everything is Lynn Cifuentes. And I'm just so excited about this next journey. Like, you guys have no idea. I'm ready for some new music. I'm ready for some covers. I'm ready for just God to take me to the next level. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the new year. So happy new year. Love you guys.